My brother sent me a text that felt like a slap across the face. "You are not worthy of coming to my engagement party." I stared at those words on my phone screen, my hands shaking. The same brother whose engagement party I had spent 3 months planning. Every single detail, every vendor contract, every decoration, all paid for with my own money. And now he was telling me I was not good enough to attend. You will not believe what I did next. Before we continue, if you have ever been treated like you do not matter by your own family, if you have ever poured your heart into something only to be pushed aside, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what happened after I walked away from that party will blow your mind. My name is Isabel Carson. I am 28 years old, and I am a cultural event planner in Nashville, Tennessee. For the past 5 years, I have built a reputation for creating unforgettable experiences. Weddings, corporate galas, charity fundraisers. I pour my soul into every project, transforming visions into reality. But nothing prepared me for the moment my younger brother Marcus sent that text. I was sitting at my desk in my downtown Nashville office when my phone lit up with his message. "You are not worthy of coming to my engagement party." No explanation. No apology. Just cold, calculated dismissal. For 3 solid months, I had been working day and night on his engagement celebration. I had scouted venues across Nashville, finally settling on a stunning rooftop space with panoramic views of the city skyline. I had designed custom table settings that blended rustic southern charm with elegant sophistication. Mason jars filled with fairy lights. Handcrafted centerpieces featuring wildflowers native to Tennessee. I had called in personal favors to book Miranda Lawson's catering company, known throughout the South for their incredible cuisine. Bourbon-glazed pork belly. Pecan-crusted chicken. Sweet potato soufflé. A dessert bar featuring 7 different types of pie. I had hired Jackson Reed, the best decorator in Nashville, to create an atmosphere that would take everyone's breath away. Vintage chandeliers. Flowing white linens. A custom-built arbor covered in climbing roses for the toast. Every contract had my signature. Every deposit came from my bank account. Every vendor knew me as the point of contact. And my brother had just told me I was not worthy of being there. I read the message 3 times, each time hoping I had misunderstood. But there was no misunderstanding. Marcus had made himself perfectly clear. My first instinct was to call him immediately, to demand an explanation, to ask what I had done wrong. But something stopped me. A voice in my head whispered, "Do not beg. Do not chase. Do not give them the satisfaction." So I did something else. I smiled. A cold, calculated smile. Because a plan was already forming in my mind. Let me take you back to how this nightmare began, because understanding the full story makes what I did next so much sweeter. Marcus is my younger brother by 4 years. Growing up, we were close. Not best friends, but solid siblings who had each other's backs. Our parents, Richard and Diana Carson, always favored him. The golden boy who could do no wrong. I was the responsible one, the one who got good grades, went to college, built a career. Marcus was the one they coddled, made excuses for, bailed out of trouble. When Marcus announced his engagement to his girlfriend Vanessa Chen 6 months ago, I was genuinely happy for him. Vanessa seemed nice enough, though I barely knew her. They had been dating for 2 years, and Marcus seemed settled for the first time in his life. At the engagement dinner, surrounded by family at a nice restaurant in downtown Nashville, Marcus pulled me aside. "Izzy, I want you to plan our engagement party," he said, his eyes bright with excitement. "You are the best at this stuff. Make it amazing." I should have said no. I should have set boundaries right then. But family is family, right? So I agreed. The next day, I started planning. I took vacation days from my regular client work to focus on Marcus and Vanessa's celebration. I created mood boards, researched vendors, built spreadsheets tracking every detail. The venue alone took 2 weeks to find. I toured 15 different spaces before landing on the Riverside Heights Hotel, a luxury property with a rooftop terrace overlooking the Cumberland River. The rental fee was $8,000 for the evening. I paid it myself, figuring Marcus would reimburse me eventually. The catering was next. Miranda Lawson's company had a 6-month waiting list, but I had worked with her on 3 previous events. I called in that favor, explaining this was for my brother's engagement. She cleared her schedule. The quote came back at $12,000 for 100 guests. Appetizers, full dinner service, open bar, dessert station. I signed the contract and wired the deposit. $5,000, non-refundable. Jackson Reed's decorating services ran another $6,000. Custom floral arrangements, lighting design, table settings, the works. I approved everything, my credit card taking hit after hit. Then came the smaller details. Custom invitations from a local print shop, $400. A professional photographer, $2,000. A DJ who specialized in upbeat party mixes, $1,500. Party favors, thank you cards, valet service, coat check. Every expense piled up. By the time everything was booked, I had spent over $35,000 of my own money. But I told myself it was worth it. This was my brother's special day. This was family. The first red flag came 3 weeks into planning. I sent Marcus and Vanessa the preliminary timeline and vendor list, excited to share all the progress. Marcus responded with a 2-word text. Looks fine. No thank you. No excitement. Just. Looks fine. I brushed it off. He is probably busy with work, I told myself. Planning a party is not his thing. The second red flag appeared 2 months in. My mother Diana called me on a Tuesday evening. Isabel, honey, I need to talk to you about the party. Sure, Mom, what is up? Well, Vanessa mentioned that she is concerned about the vibe. The vibe, I repeated, confused. Yes, she feels like maybe you are making it too. How do I say this? Too much about you. I took vacation days from my regular client work to focus on Marcus and Vanessa's celebration. I created mood boards, researched vendors, built spreadsheets tracking every detail. The venue alone took 2 weeks to find. I toured 15 different spaces before landing on the Riverside Heights Hotel, a luxury property with a rooftop terrace overlooking the Cumberland River. The rental fee was $8,000 for the evening. Okay, Mom, I will keep that in mind. After we hung up, I sat in my apartment staring at the wall. Something felt wrong, but I could not put my finger on it. The third red flag came just 2 weeks before the party. My father Richard called. Isabel, we need to discuss the gift situation. Gift situation? I asked. Yes, your mother and I have been talking, and we think it would be appropriate for you to contribute $3,000 toward Marcus and Vanessa's wedding gift. We are pooling money for their honeymoon fund. Dad, I have already spent over $30,000 planning this party. Well, yes, but that is different, he said dismissively. This is a gift from the family. We all need to chip in equally. Equally, I said, my voice rising. I have planned the entire party, paid for everything, and now you want me to contribute another $3,000. Isabel, do not make this difficult, he said sharply. Family supports family. This is what we do. I hung up on him. Actually hung up mid-sentence. I had never done that before in my life. My phone immediately started ringing again. I ignored it. That night, I could not sleep. I kept replaying the conversation in my head. Family supports family. But when had they supported me? The next morning, I checked Instagram and saw something that made my blood run cold. Vanessa had posted photos from what she called her bachelorette weekend in Miami. Luxury hotel, bottle service at clubs, private yacht party. The caption read, "Living my best life with my girls, so grateful for this amazing celebration Marcus planned for me." Marcus planned for her. My brother, who could barely organize his own grocery shopping. My brother, who I knew for a fact had not contributed a single dollar to the engagement party. In the comments, my cousin Ashley had written, "This looks incredible, wish I could have been there." Vanessa replied, "Next time babe, this was just for the inner circle." Inner circle. I scrolled through the photos again. 8 women, none of whom I recognized. And then I saw it. One photo tagged at a restaurant. The caption read, "Thanks to Richard and Diana for making this weekend possible." My parents had funded Vanessa's bachelorette party while demanding I contribute more money for their wedding gift. Something inside me snapped. Not in a dramatic, explosive way, but in a quiet, cold, final way. I opened my laptop and pulled up every vendor contract. Riverside Heights Hotel, contract signed by Isabel Carson. Miranda Lawson Catering, contract signed by Isabel Carson. Jackson Reed Decorating, contract signed by Isabel Carson. Photographer, DJ, valet service, all signed by me. Every single vendor was contracted through me, paid by me, and legally obligated to follow my instructions. I called my best friend Natalie Foster. Natalie and I had been friends since college, and she was a freelance journalist who wrote for several online publications. "Nat, I need to talk," I said when she answered. We met at a coffee shop near Music Row an hour later. I told her everything. The 3 months of planning, the $35,000 I had spent, my mother's criticism about the vibe, my father's demand for more money, Marcus's text telling me I was not worthy, Vanessa's Instagram post about my parents funding her Miami trip. Natalie listened without interrupting, her expression growing darker with each detail. When I finished, she leaned forward. Izzy, you have all the power here. What do you mean? You signed every contract. Your name is on everything. These vendors work for you, not Marcus. I stared at her, the full implication sinking in. You do not owe them anything, Natalie continued. Walk away. Cancel everything. Let them figure it out. I opened my mouth to protest, to say I could not do that, but the words died in my throat. Why could I not? We spent the next hour going through every contract, every clause, every cancellation policy. Some vendors would refund partial deposits. Others would not. But every single one would honor my request to cancel because my name was on the paperwork. When I left that coffee shop, I knew exactly what I was going to do. The party was scheduled for Saturday evening. This was Monday morning. 5 days away. I went back to my apartment, made a pot of coffee, and started making phone calls. First call, Riverside Heights Hotel. Hi, this is Isabel Carson. I have a booking for this Saturday. I need to cancel. The event manager, Carlos Diaz, sounded surprised. Miss Carson, the event is in 5 days. Our cancellation policy states that cancellations within 7 days result in forfeiture of the full deposit. I understand, I said calmly. Please cancel the reservation. There was a pause. May I ask why? Personal reasons. Please send me the cancellation confirmation in writing. Carlos hesitated. Miss Carson, I have to mention, your brother called last week asking about the event details. Should I contact him about this cancellation? No, I said firmly. The contract is under my name. This is my decision. Please do not contact anyone else. Understood, he said slowly. I will send the confirmation within the hour. Second call, Miranda Lawson Catering. Miranda answered personally. Isabel, honey, how are you? I am so excited about Saturday. The menu is going to be spectacular. Miranda, I need to cancel. Silence. Miranda, did you hear me? Isabel, what happened? She asked, her voice filled with concern. Vanessa's Instagram post about my parents funding her Miami trip. Natalie listened without interrupting, her expression growing darker with each detail. When I finished, she leaned forward. Izzy, you have all the power here. What do you mean? You signed every contract. Your name is on everything. These vendors work for you, not Marcus. I stared at her, the full implication sinking in. You do not owe them anything, Natalie continued. Walk away. Cancel everything. I will process the cancellation, but please, take care of yourself. Thank you, Miranda. Third call, Jackson Reed Decorating. Jackson was less sympathetic. You are canceling 3 days before the event, he said flatly. I have flowers ordered, equipment rented, staff scheduled. This is going to cost me thousands. I understand, and I apologize, I said. Please send me the cancellation terms. This is extremely unprofessional, Isabel, he said coldly. The contract is clear about cancellation policies, I replied, keeping my voice steady. I am following the terms we both agreed to. He hung up without another word. I made 6 more calls. Photographer, cancelled. DJ, cancelled. Valet service, cancelled. Coat check, cancelled. Every single vendor, cancelled. By Tuesday afternoon, the engagement party that I had spent 3 months planning no longer existed. I sat in my apartment surrounded by contracts and cancellation confirmations, and I felt something I had not felt in months. Relief. Then I did something else. Something that would change everything. I booked a flight to Hawaii. One-way ticket to Honolulu, leaving Thursday morning. 2 days before the party. I was not running away. I was choosing myself. Wednesday evening, my phone started ringing. Marcus. I let it go to voicemail. Marcus again. Voicemail. My mother Diana. Voicemail. My father Richard. Voicemail. They left messages, increasingly frantic. Isabel, what is going on? Marcus said in his first message. The hotel called saying the reservation is cancelled. This has to be a mistake. Call me back immediately. The second message was angrier. Isabel, I do not know what you think you are doing, but you need to fix this right now. This is not a joke. My mother's message was different. Sweetheart, please call me back. I am sure we can work this out. Whatever is bothering you, we can talk about it. My father's message was cold. Isabel, this behavior is completely unacceptable. You are being childish and selfish. Call me back so we can resolve this like adults. I deleted every voicemail without listening to them in full. Thursday morning, I woke up at 4 a.m., showered, and headed to the airport. I had packed light. One suitcase, one carry-on, beach clothes, sundresses, sandals, my laptop and my journal. As I boarded the plane, I turned my phone to airplane mode. I did not want to see their messages. I did not want to hear their voices. For the next 6 hours, I watched movies, read a book, and felt the weight slowly lifting from my shoulders. When the plane landed in Honolulu, I turned my phone back on. 87 missed calls. 132 text messages. I scrolled through them quickly. Marcus, angry and accusatory. Diana, worried and pleading. Richard, demanding and cold. My cousin Ashley, confused. Even Vanessa had sent messages, calling me selfish and immature. I read one text from Marcus that made me laugh out loud. "You have destroyed my engagement party. I will never forgive you for this. You are dead to me." Good, I thought. The feeling is mutual. I deleted every message, blocked all their numbers, and took a taxi to my hotel. The Waikiki Palms Resort was everything I needed. Ocean view room. Private balcony. White sand beach steps away. I dropped my bags, changed into a swimsuit, and walked straight into the Pacific Ocean. The water was warm, crystal clear, the exact opposite of the cold, murky situation I had left behind in Nashville. I spent Saturday, the day of the party that no longer existed, snorkeling in Hanauma Bay. Schools of tropical fish swam around me. Sea turtles glided past. The sun warmed my skin. I did not think about Marcus or Vanessa or my parents. I did not wonder how they scrambled to salvage their party. I did not care. Sunday morning, I woke up to a text from Natalie. "Check your email," she wrote. I published the article. My heart started racing. Before I left Nashville, I had sat down with Natalie and told her my entire story. Every detail, every betrayal, every moment of being taken for granted. She had recorded the conversation, taken notes, and asked if she could write about it. I had said yes. I opened my laptop and found the email. The article was published on a popular online news platform called Southern Stories. The headline read, "Event planner excluded from family celebration she spent $35,000 organizing speaks out." I read the entire piece, my eyes filling with tears. Natalie had captured everything. Not just the facts, but the emotion. The years of being the responsible one, while Marcus was coddled. The months of thankless work. The text that said I was not worthy. The final betrayal when my parents funded Vanessa's party while demanding more money from me. She had changed some names but left mine. Isabel Carson, cultural event planner, standing up for herself. The article did not name Marcus or my parents specifically, but anyone who knew our family would recognize the story. The comments section was already filling up. "Good for her," one person wrote. "Family does not mean doormat," said another. "This is why I went no contact with my toxic relatives," shared a third. Hundreds of comments, thousands of shares. The article was going viral. My phone, which I had unblocked briefly to check messages, immediately started buzzing. More calls from Marcus. More texts from my mother. Now messages from people I barely knew, asking if I was okay, offering support. I blocked everyone except Natalie and turned my phone off completely. For the next week, I explored Oahu. I hiked Diamond Head at sunrise, the city of Honolulu spread below me in golden light. I took a boat tour of the Naupali coast, watching dolphins leap alongside us. I ate fresh poke bowls and shave ice. I read books on the beach. I journaled every evening, processing everything I had been through. The anger slowly faded, replaced by something stronger. Clarity. Self-respect. Peace. By the time I boarded my flight back to Nashville 2 weeks later, I was a different person. Not broken. Not bitter. But clear about my worth and unwilling to settle for less. When I returned to my apartment, it felt like coming home to a sanctuary rather than a prison. My phone had been off the entire time. When I finally turned it on, the messages were overwhelming. My family had clearly been panicking. But there were other messages too. Messages from potential clients who had read Natalie's article. An event coordinator in Atlanta asking if I would consult on a corporate gala. A bride in Memphis who wanted me to plan her wedding. A nonprofit in Nashville requesting a meeting about their annual fundraiser. Natalie's article had not just told my story. It had showcased my work, my dedication, my professionalism. People saw that I was someone who delivered excellence, even when I was being treated poorly. Within a month of returning, I had signed 4 new contracts. My biggest clients yet. Events that would define my career. I never responded to my family's messages. Not a single text, not a single call. I did not owe them explanations or closure. 6 months later, Natalie sent me another text. Your brother got married. Thought you should know. I felt nothing. No sadness, no anger, no regret. Just a distant acknowledgement that someone I used to know had moved on with their life. I had moved on too. My business grew. My reputation soared. I was featured in Nashville Lifestyle magazine as one of the city's top event planners. I hired an assistant, then a second one. I moved into a larger office space with windows overlooking downtown. I built the life I deserved. Looking back now, I can see that text from Marcus, "You are not worthy," was actually a gift. It forced me to confront a truth I had been avoiding for years. My family did not value me. They saw me as a resource to be used, not a person to be cherished. Walking away was not cruel or selfish. It was self-preservation. I learned that respect must be mutual. That love without respect is manipulation. That family is not an excuse for mistreatment. I learned that my worth is not determined by how much I can give or how much I can endure. I learned that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away. To anyone listening who has been treated like they do not matter, who has poured their heart into people who do not appreciate them, who has been told they are not worthy, I want you to hear this. You are worthy. You deserve respect. You deserve love that does not come with conditions or demands. And if the people in your life cannot see that, then maybe it is time to build a new life with people who do. I am Isabel Carson. I walked away from my brother's engagement party. I canceled everything I had worked 3 months to plan. I spent $35,000 and got back my self-respect. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. If you have ever been in a similar situation, drop a comment below. Share your story. Let people know they are not alone. And please, hit that subscribe button for more real stories about setting boundaries, choosing yourself, and building the life you deserve. Remember, family is not an excuse for disrespect. You are not a doormat. You are not an ATM. You are a person who deserves to be valued. Do not ever let anyone tell you otherwise. The end.